Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Hearts of Iron 4, continuing on with my Make Love, Not War series. And world tension has shot through the roof, but I swear it's not my fault. The Japanese did it. Yeah, the Japanese managed to take China, which skyrocketed world tension. Now, that did have some benefits. It allowed me to add Hungary into my faction. Unfortunately, Poland was already in a faction, so I couldn't add them into my faction. Otherwise, we'd have even more territory for this Axis font here. But again, I didn't realize that they had their own faction set up. And that is due to some of the unpredictability of the fact that the AI is not going to follow a historic line. But we did manage to get Danzig from Poland peaceably, so I am happy with that for the most part. And now we're working on a plan to befriend the Scandinavian countries over here and add them into the faction. But currently, we're having to deal with a very high world tension. Now, if we can get some of these other countries flipped to being more fascist, we may be able to incorporate them because of the high world tension, which is something we were able to do with Hungary. But right now, some of these other countries, they haven't quite flipped fascist here yet. Now, it could be waiting for a election or what have you. I could do a coup, but I don't know what their national unity being as high as it is. I don't think it's likely to work. That's at least my understanding. And over here, they're looking at 47%, and then Romania is at 52%, but they are democratic. They might be the ones that we really want to attempt a coup here, but with a 60% national unity, I'm just not sure how successful it would be. But this is kind of the period of time where it would maybe be a good idea. Now, I am improving fascism over here, but maybe it's time to cancel the popularity boost, and instead send it to a nation that we want to add into our faction. So, for instance, the Belgians over here, I think we start boosting their popularity. Now, world tension might go down enough so that we wouldn't be able to incorporate them easily, but we'll at least attempt it. The Swiss might have been another choice here, but they don't have that much fascism support, and I think they have a lot of things that prevent them from really doing a lot of stuff, like joint faction tension limit is at 100%, which is what it's at now. So if I had gone fascist support for the Swiss from the beginning, I might have been able to do them. I just didn't know that world tension would ever reach this high. I also have a tech that just unlocked. Now, I don't know what that tech was because I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like it was here. So we might as well do excavation while we're at it, as that is one of the last techs 439 that we have available. And we can start time. Alright, so we just finished mountain infantry, so we have more tech to unlock. And I think I wanted to do tanks. So I could do light tanks or medium tanks. Now, we have more medium tanks in the inventory right now. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with the light tanks, get them upgraded, and then maybe move on to the medium tanks. I don't actually know how much of this research bonus I have, but I think it's at least 2. Alternatively, I could do the Tiger tanks early and get heavy tanks out there, which might be a good call. You know what? I think I'm going to do that so that we have heavy tank production started and we get Tiger tanks early. That sounds awesome too. So let's just compare, actually, what we've got here. So we've got these guys, we've got these guys, and we've got these guys. Let's just see what strengths they have to offer. Alright, so light tanks are pretty darn fast. Medium tanks, they're fast too, but a little bit slower, obviously. Then heavy tanks are the slowest. Now, if I compare this to the Panzer III, which is our current medium tank, the Panzer IV is faster, which gives me more mobility, which would make me happy, obviously. And I kind of like that idea. But let's just see here. So this is the current tank that we have. So heart attack goes up significantly. But light tanks, not quite as good, obviously. They don't have the heart attack. They don't have the armor. Breakthrough is actually better, though, than our current medium tanks. Defense is better. Hardness is not quite as high. Piercing is lower as well. But honestly, I don't know. These light tanks, they might be the right course. So looking at this, I'd say either do the light tanks or the medium tanks. Medium tanks makes the overall tank unit faster because you're not being slowed down by the Panzer IIIs. But the better light tanks mean that our overall tank units get better performance because if we compare that really quickly to the previous light tank over here, we see that heart attack goes up significantly, armor goes up almost double, breakthrough gains 10 points. I mean, this is a significant improvement. We get more speed as well, but this is a significant improvement. So do we go with the significant improvement, or do we go with just the improvement for our medium tanks, which we have more of? That's a tough call, but I think I'm going to go with the light tanks. I think we have enough research bonus that we could do the medium tanks as well. But I could have gone either way with that, and maybe the heavy tanks would have been the more interesting play. But for now, that's the route I'm going to go. I'm going to have more of a focus on medium and light tanks rather than the heavy tanks. And that is just due to pure mobility. I want to be able to move my tank units very quickly, so if I get a breakthrough, I can take advantage of it. Oh, we've got some more motorized divisions. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight up add them to the Green Army, and I'm going to put them in here with these tank units. Okay. How is our resources? We just need a little bit of oil, which we'll have in November when we get another refinery built. How is... Okay, we have more tech. How's the rest of our construction going? Because right now we're working on anti-air defenses. And then probably the next priority would be to get my radar up again. So let's take a look at my radar, which is here. All right, we don't have any over here at all because these guys weren't part of my country initially. So looks like we're going to have to do something like that. Huh. Alright, well, I'm just going to do that to make it cleaner, but I might only have these guys be at level 1, and then have the other guys be at level 2. But that's going to be the initial setup. Just get those radar done. So we have coverage everywhere. Oh, and we need research. Okay, so we're good with the support. We're good with that. So now I think it's doctrine time. Or we finish off the last of the battleships here, which we'd have done in 144 days, or we go with air doctrine, which would only take us 144 days as well. I think I'm going to go with the battleship here. Or I could wait. I could wait until my focus is done, because I don't know how the focus is going to affect that. So, yeah, why don't I wait? And instead, you know what? I am going to do that. Because the focus might give me stuff for 1940, which would be actually better. Alright, so we're working on that. And my units continue to get trained here. And as long as we continue to add units here, they'll continue needing training. You know, I was supposed to add another unit to the light blue army here, but I think I'm just going to do this move. I'm just going to take this unit and strategic remove them over to here. So we have coverage there. And then I think I'm pretty happy with the composition of the light blue army. I could set them to like defend a city like Stuttgart over here, and then shift this unit over somewhere over here. Oh, speaking of which, we have world news. The United Kingdom exerts influence in Turkey. The Mediterranean has long been a region of great strategic value to the imperial influence of the United Kingdom. Now, the British government is looking for further support from countries in the region. To that end, they have appointed a special consul to the Turkish state. Considering the centuries of fierce competition for naval supremacy in the Mediterranean, whether they are successful in bringing their two countries closer together remains to be seen. Okay. We'll take a look at that in a second. But while I'm here, I have these guys to redirect. We'll go ahead and do that. And I do want to take a look at this focus from the British. So they just finished something. I think we can still see them because of what we've got here. So coerce Turkey. But they went over, they did that rather than coerce Greece. So they're going to be affecting the democracy, or bringing Turkey to be a democracy. That's interesting that they did Turkey over Greece. So this means my chances of befriending Turkey has actually lessened because of this move by the British. And again, this is the whole thing with the unpredictability of stuff. So because they've gone that route, it's actually more likely that we might be able to get Greece. So let's take a look at that here. So Greece. You've got a decent amount of fascism in your country already. And you're not really being affected by anyone. So why do I have so much political power? Oh, is it because I haven't chosen my focus yet? But we are going to boost your political party. Fascism. And hopefully that we might be able to incorporate you with this high world tension. Alright, so we just finished the focus, which is going to give us some dockyards. Now that we've got that done, we're going to do Plan Z so we can go down this track. And how is support in Denmark right now? They are 34% fascist, and if we told them to invite to our faction, they have a neutral foreign policy. And that's this, huh? Alright, well, that might not be something we can do then. So Romania has that as well. Interesting. Was that something that they could do with a focus? For some reason I've got nothing on them. Yeah, neutrality focus. But I don't see that just gives them political power. So I don't see this necessarily giving them that. Huh, okay. And I don't have any clue of what Romania's actually worked on. Maybe I'll get more of a clue of what... No. It's curious that I have information on the more major nations, but none on the minor ones. That's odd. Alright. Go ahead and go to the dockyards here. So... we only gained 2, so I guess we'll put 1 in there and 1 there. Okay. Alright, let's continue. So some events that I really am not a big fan of are happening here. We're going to lose Turkey, which was quite fascist, as a matter of fact. But they're going to start going democratic. Now, we could counter-boost their fascism, but we're starting to run out of what political power we have to use here. Okay, so we've got Recon Company finished. Alright. Now that that's done, do we work on the tanks ahead of time? I don't see a reason why not. So, we can work on the Panzer IV here. Get those done ahead of time. Which with that 50% bonus, it really doesn't take all that long. Even though we have more than a year of ahead of time penalties. Alright, paratroopers are done. So now all that's left, considering that it's 1939, Now, I could go straight into 1940 here and start researching this ahead of time, which I may do for just the research bonus and my ability to do encryption and decryption quicker. Yeah, let's do that. Anything else that pops out here, I may focus on other ahead of time stuff. But it doesn't look like anything's going to pop before the year is over, so nothing will be ahead of time at that point. Ooh, we've got more units here. I'm going to send this guy over here. And I'm just thinking about where should I reinforce? I mean, the Red Army has room in it. The Purple Army has room in it. We don't know what Poland's going to do now. They won't join our faction, looks like. Oh, I did want to add. You're going to, of course, all of you may join the Green Army. You're going to go to the Green Army as well. And I'm going to strategically redeploy you right there. And you, my friend, are also going to go there. And then... Oh, did I select both of them? I didn't mean to do both of them. Alright, well, you actually strategically redeploy here. No, strategically redeploy here. Thank you. Okay, so we have the Denmark territory, covered a little bit better. Then we have a few more divisions we can throw over here before we're full up on this army. And then I don't know where I'd put the rest of them. We've got decent coverage here and there. Most of the push is going to come from the Green Army anyway. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to redeploy this tank unit over across the river over here with this tank unit. And we'll redeploy these guys here. Okay. Oh. They're working on East Asia. What's Japan working on? I don't know what the Divine Wind does. Let's see if we can find where that is over here. Oh, allows them to do kamikaze strikes. I don't know how that is a priority right now, but okay. And they could also join their own faction here. Because they went with sever this, which we told them no. So they could go either way. They could go with us, or they could go the other way. Now, obviously, having them join the Axis would be great, but I don't want to get pulled into a war at the same time. Oh, now we need more steel. So I might as well start working on that. So, steel. We can do Greece here, so then. I'd like some positive relationship with Greece. And how are things going on in Yugoslavia? So fascism continues to grow, but they're still not fascist. And we were thinking about possibly putting a coup, or doing a coup, in Romania here. Because of their more neutral look. And with a unity of 60%, I'm not exactly sure how that would go. Like, I canceled this coup because it was a 75% national unity. But over here, it's not quite as high. Now, I don't know of anyone else that really is a good target for that. I mean, France is one of the ones that's easier to do a coup, but there's no fascism in here, so I couldn't do a fascist coup. Yeah, there's not very many countries that are not all that stable national unity-wise. Mostly, it's just France. You know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try in Romania. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's, you know, we're already at 100% world tension, so I don't think it really particularly matters. So, I'm going to stage a coup. It's going to be fascist. And it will take quite a while to do. As a matter of fact, I might not have the power change to do it. So I might have to cancel power change somewhere else. You know, we're going to wait, but I think I'd like to do that if we get the opportunity. Like, for instance, once we befriend Denmark, I can pull the boost fascist support there because they're already going to get fascist support. We'll just have to see. It's going to be tough to get some of these guys into my faction, for sure. We're going to try. And the Spanish Civil War continues to go. It looks like they've actually expanded out here a little bit. And it's just the Soviet troops are probably what's really doing that. Even though they have all this territory. They can't take Barcelona. As long as they can't take Barcelona, they can't stop or cut off supplies here. I'm tempted to actually send volunteers over there just to finish the war. I just don't feel like that's in the spirit of what I'm trying to do. Kind of surprised the Italians didn't go that route. But they didn't. I can't invite them to the faction because they're a major nation, so they have a big penalty there. But if they didn't have that penalty, they probably would have accepted. Because we have 64 positive versus what would have been 50 negative, but now they have another 50 for being a... Alright, so we've got that. Does it consider these guys just different ideologies, the big penalty, and then the neutral foreign policy, which I think is going to put a halt to my ability to really do this. I don't know how they get this, if this is something they start the game with or what. Or if it's something that they did through their focus choices, and I just got hosed here by the fact that they did that. Alright, well, we're going to try it nonetheless, befriend Denmark, and see if we can get them into faction. But from what I'm seeing, the number of penalties they have means that that's unlikely. Oh, what's going on here? Greece is not fulfilling their imports. Alright, fine, Greece. We will cancel that. And we'll instead go with... Oh, I don't know. I guess the Soviet Union. Alright. I'll let it tick here. Okay. Now the Soviet Union. Thank you. Oil should be good now. No, it's still saying we need oil, so we need more refineries, it looks like. Alright, where to put it? We'll put it there. Oh, and I want to put that up the top, so it gets done. Alright. The anti-aircraft defenses are getting worked on. So let's go along and get the rest of the radar here. So do all this. You might as well boost this up as well. There we go. Get it up to maximum levels. And then we might do some more anti-aircraft defenses. I actually don't know where they are with some of the newer captured territory. But it seemed like they were pretty good, actually, in some of that captured territory for the most part. Yeah, there goes their democracy support. That's a shame because getting Turkey would have been important. And by the time I'd be able to befriend them and start working on them, it's unlikely we'd get them. Please tell me these guys don't have a neutrality nonsense thing. Okay. So probably the next thing I'm going to work on is the Netherlands. Let's see. Because I want to get them while I can. Although, we haven't been supporting fascism as long. So maybe we befriend Norway because they don't have that neutrality nonsense going on. And they have more fascism support. So we do them first, maybe? Alright, we can modify the government. I'm going to wait a little bit on that. So it probably would be smarter to have the coup happen in Bulgaria, actually. I mean, it's the same chance. I mean, same national unity. But when we invite them... When we have this choice to invite them to a faction... we would get rid of that non-aligned penalty, and they don't have the minus 100, so they're more likely to accept. So a coup in Bulgaria sounds like a good move. And possibly a coup over here. Now, somebody is affecting this, because I could have swore that this was higher. 51%. I don't see anything here that should be doing that. So unless it's an outside force that we just don't see. Alright, so we've got the Leopard tank done. And it's officially 1940, so let's get into industry here. Oh, there's nothing until 41 here, so let's just go somewhere else then. We're already working on that. Don't see a reason to work on the radar. Planes, this is 1940, so we can work on it now. I figure we work on the things that we have bonuses for, so let's get these guys done. And that looks good to me. Alright, so modify the government. All we have left is military high command, which we can do a number of things with. So let's say we go with this guy here. This would give us a bunch of bonuses. But none of it is really affecting things right now. Like they're not research focused or any of that. So this is not really a priority at the moment. We're already at war economy. We already have free trade. We could increase conscription, but that would make training time go up if we did that. And it's not necessary right now. We could do a chief of the army, which would do what? Mostly just... Well, we could get guys out quicker with the army training drill. We could get division speed up. So these are all just flat bonuses. I think we save the political power. There's no reason that I wouldn't want to save them up. And that will actually allow me to do some of these political actions anyway. So, with that being said, why don't we start the coup in Bulgaria here? I want to see if we can get it to work. So, stage the coup. This will take quite a while to happen. So we've got till March of 41. And we could also maybe do a coup in... See, I think the problem here is a lot of these countries are not democratic, really. So they don't have elections. So us getting fascist support in there doesn't necessarily do anything unless we stage a coup. So I don't think we have the political power to do yet another coup, but we're going to start with Bulgaria and we'll work from there. And this one I'm going to actually let fire off just to see what happens at 60% national unity. Ooh, paratroopers have arrived here. Not sure what army I would assign them to if I assign them anywhere. And we also have these guys are now out. So we can add them here. And where do we need motorized divisions? I think I'm going to put them up here. Now, once we get... I'm out of curiosity. We can move into Hungary. Right? Yeah, we can, because they're in our faction. So once we have Netherlands join us, I can bring all these guys in here, which actually shortens my line significantly. Alright. That's definitely a good thing. Alright. In case, I think this is a good point to put a cut in the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.